Hello, y'all. If you're not tired of seeing my face or me being aggravating and annoying and getting on your nerves, I guess I have to ask for permission to do another video. So, this video, I'm going to talk about targeted individuals and driving. Okay. I didn't know what the agenda was, what the situation was. Anything valuable and good that I had, like when I was younger, was all confiscated from me. I mean, the foster mom stealing my Social Security back pay check and my trust fund check from, when I was in foster care. She was taking my checks when I was working my first job. She was taking all my money. And that's another story right there. But I'm not sure if I told y'all that on this channel or the other channel about, the foster mom taking my money. Then any money I got with the biological family when I was younger, bullying me out of my money and put me in so much high amount of debt. And I didn't realize this was, you go to a mental health counselor and, the mental health counselors blame you for all your victimization. I don't know why society feels like as if people are not allowed to be a victim, or like as if it's a crime for you to be a victim is a crime or criminally wrong. Like you're not allowed to be a victim, or like you being a victim is bad or supposed to look bad on your part, So, if my twin sister was able to somehow threaten the bank to get her money, she didn't even send for me to come with her, because the foster mom and the fake social workers, what they did was had made arrangements before we turned 18 so that they can take our money, because they knew, I guess about this upcoming money, and we didn't. And so we were still 17 years old, and they just had us sign these papers and not realizing that we blindly signed out, didn't know what the hell we were doing. And so the foster mom and the fake social worker, they teamed up to where the foster mom can take all of our money after we turn 18, because the foster mom already had it set up a bank account, with the foster mom. She cleverly got us before we turned 18 while we were still 17 and had our job. And the foster mom was taking all our checks and then lying to everybody, saying that I don't know about my twin sister, but she would lie and say that I spent all my money on junk, but, and then nowadays, the fact that I'm in the situation I'm in, people try to make it like as if that I'm a failure in life because I didn't play my cards right. Well, how could you play anything right if you were locked in a cult, forced against your will, and overly sheltered, where everybody keeping a close watch on you from a little child, and, just forced to be ignorant and not know anything, and where people try to make it like me and my twin sister were vulnerable and gullible and easy to be taken advantage of. But see, now my twin sister is perping me, and people make it like she has more common sense and more street sense than me, because she rebelled and went to you know, go run the streets, you know. So, I mean, after I turned 18, I wish I would have known then what I know now. I wish that I could have had a way to have my own money, or a clever way that the foster mom and the fake social workers wouldn't have got my money. And I could have used that money to get my own vehicle. Even before I turned 18, I had to hear lectures about how I don't have any business driving. I don't have the sense to drive. And I don't have any, the mentality to drive. But, you know, and me, between ages 18 and 21, I've had moments where people would make false promises to teach me how to drive, and then they would scam me out my money. Like this guy, he calls himself Talk a Lot. When I was living in New Orleans Towers in Algiers, part of New Orleans West Bank, and the guy, he calls himself Talk a Lot, and what he did was he criminally, illegally, and undeservingly drove me around and just try to show me parts of the car. And then he scammed me out of my $80 and never did let me drive. A few times when I would try to go to the DMV and try to get the test, and they fucked over me really bad with the test. And lied and said I failed, and then mocked and laughed at me when I had my emotional meltdown and stuff like that. And that was like 2002, 2003, 2004. You know, so, I mean, I was 17 going on 18. I should have been younger than that. But I was 17 going on 18 the first time I tried to drive and took driver's ed, you know. And then it was a setup for me to fail. Like they nearly succeeded at setting me up to fail because I was sleep deprived and didn't get to eat breakfast that morning. That's another story right there. And so, you know, all these other situations with people putting blocks and hindrance in the way to prevent me from driving because they know that's something I'm passionate about. Even my own twin sister doesn't want me driving, doesn't want me married, doesn't want me to have kids, unless she wants to set me up who she wants to set me up with somebody who she can laugh at both me and the boyfriend and say, make it like as if we're a retarded couple together. You know, like as if she wants to try to force me to be with another person who she wants to call both of us retarded. So anyway, but my twin sister been having her own car for years and living off of at least 5 times more money than me. And all the money that they robbed me out of and stripped from me. And my twin sister can't even donate 1 penny. And all the help that I did for my family throughout the years. That, you know, I attempted suicide in 2010 because it's like, damn, all I'm worthy enough. It's like all I'm good for is, you know, to be used. I didn't realize I was I didn't know I was a targeted individual. I had no idea of I haven't heard of targeted individual in gang stalking. But all this persecution I got for all these years because I thought it was because of society's being prejudiced of me for being quote unquote retarded and crazy. So, you know, I see all these other targeted individuals, they not seen as mentally slow by society like I am. They seem mentally normal. A lot of other so-called, you know, targeted individuals are glorified as the pretty type, cute and attractive and mentally normal. But me, I get treated like, for years, pretty much all my life, people treat me like I'm too slow and retarded to know left from right. You know, that they think I'm too retarded to know how to put on my shoes and socks. They think I'm too retarded to know how to breathe. Like as if they want to correct and control how I breathe, you know? So each of us targeted individuals, I know some of us have had challenges. We all have different situations, and I keep saying that we all need to be more sympathetic and empathetic and understanding and have more compassion for each other, and stop discrediting and stop acting like you don't believe what I'm going through, or I don't try to act like I don't believe what you're going through, you know? So, I mean, no matter how bizarre, because this situation is bizarre, I don't know of any other 36 years, anybody else who's 36 years old, who's being prevented from driving and having a car, that nobody want me driving and having a car. But I went as far as to get my, not only a license, been having a license for years, but then in 2017, I got my chauffeur's license to be a cab driver. And you still, I mean, if I got upgraded to a chauffeur's license and you still feel like you don't trust me to drive, and then narcissistic people, they give this look like if I haven't driven in 5 years, and then they have this jealous look like as if they're jealous of me for quote unquote driving better than them. But they drive like a bat out of hell and have road rage, and you know, but then they want to try to be a backseat driver. And like the gay brother Mark, the speed limit will be 40, and if I go driving 35, he would get mad and forcefully order me to slow down when I'm going 35. And then I'll turn around and look. And then he tries to say, all right, the police right there. He's another one always threatening me with the police. And then I turn and look, and there's no police around. And then on that same street, he would go like 96 into 40 mile per hour zone. But you're telling me, me going 35, that the police is right there and that they're going to get me, like you freaking care. But you just want to, wreak havoc on my damn nerves. And then those same people who treat you like that, turn around and say, oh, I stay away from her because she's miserable and she's negative and she's always complaining. They just hit me right here with the energy weapons. It hurts. So, I've been suffering sleep deprivation. I'm scared to drive being sleep deprived. They say that if you are sleep deprived and you go out and drive, then that's just as bad as you being drunk, and that you can get in more trouble than being drunk if you drive sleep deprived. So there are times when I'm so sleep deprived that it's torture to try to eat. I can't even eat, but I be like choking on my food and stuff, trying to eat while I'm sleep deprived. And then be tired and sleepy, and then go lay down, and then still up and can't get any sleep. And just laying in bed for like 18 hours and not even 2 seconds of even micro sleeps, But it seemed like I don't even know if the gang stalkers were doing this when I had the cab driving job. I would been sleep deprived. It was around the time when I was sleep deprived for 18 days. And then when my older sister and her boyfriend forced me to throw the cab job, forced me to turn the cab in and quit the cab driving job, that's when the very night later on, that's when I ended up sleeping like a baby and the best sleep I ever had, So at first, I thought that my sleep deprivation problem was just a witchcraft conspiracy to keep me from driving, because people know how passionate I feel about driving and wish I can drive. But it's like, but then when some people ask me, well, do you have a license? And they make it like as if I'm making excuses to not drive, or like I don't want to drive. And I do want to drive. I wish I could drive and have my own car, my own vehicle, And I wish I could work my own way rather than having to depend on somebody else. You know. And so people said don't do Uber and Lyft or Instacart or the gig economy because it's new age slavery and part of the New World Order agenda. You know. So, such if I had my own little personal delivery service or errand service, I wouldn't mind doing that, you know. So, I mean, my question is, I see other targeted individuals. I'm not going to name any names, but it seems like they do almost all their videos in their car while they're driving. And some of them say that they suffered a sleep deprivation, torture, and remote neural monitoring. I wonder, how do they get away with doing that, you know, and they don't feel sluggish or tired, or they can do that and the police don't pull them over or anything. Like, I'm scared to, you know, get into a car accident, and I'm scared to get into a car accident, and I'm scared to you know, scared of the idea of falling asleep behind the wheel, because I get super nervous and scared. I mean, my family is jealous of me because during Hurricane Katrina, I drove from New Orleans, more like from Houston, Texas, from New Orleans to Baton Rouge, and then Baton Rouge to Houston, Texas, and then from Houston, Texas, all the way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then a few months later drove all the way from Milwaukee to Wisconsin back to New Orleans by myself. And my family really hated me for that and were jealous and wondered how was a retarded person smart enough to know how to do that, you know. So, I mean, they said that, I mean, I saw a website, I could not find it, that said that if a targeted individual is deprived of his or her right to drive and the freedom of movement and freedom of transportation, and the targeted individual drives and then die in a car accident, then the gang stalking perps or whoever have blood on their hands. But if I had a driving job, it seems like most jobs, even if it's not a driving job, for some reason the office job wants you to have a reliable transportation and proof of auto insurance. Certain businesses, you know, I can do if I had a car. And so, you know, and then I can work my own merry way into independence like I would want to, you know. And it's like narcissistic abusers, they have a problem, or they hate me talking things that I'm passionate about or that I like or that I'm interested in, but at the same time they avoid me saying I'm too negative, energy draining, and complain too much, and that I'm a negative Nancy, a Debbie Downer, and a petty Betty, you know. But when I talk about things I like, they don't like. They have a problem with that too, like as if I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut and say nothing or express no emotions or no feelings or nothing, you know. So, you know, I'm just wondering, how do other targeted individuals, I see them do videos, almost every video is in a car while they're driving, and they say that they're under remote neural monitoring and sleep deprivation. But me, I'm scared to try to drive while I'm in that state. And then the moment I get in the car, I don't know if the gang stalkers have me programmed to feel sleepy the moment I sit behind the wheel of the driver's seat in the car. You know, it's like I'm scared to take that plunge and then I have been falsely accused of wanting to endanger everybody's lives, in which I don't want to. It's to blame the gang stalk. I mean, I want to be able to have my freedom and stuff, but blame the gang stalkers who purposely keep you sleep deprived, and they're probably sitting somewhere laughing. But it's been a freaking conspiracy since my teenage years, been a conspiracy to keep me from driving, keep me from having a car, keep me from having a job, a family, friends, a happy life, and everything. And those same people say that they avoid me because I'm negative and miserable. So I'm done with this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.